Hello everyone, how you doing?
Hey everybody, what's going on?
How's it going? Happy Easter, everyone. Good, welcome. I'll keep this playing, why not? Keeping this
Happy late
playing.
Easter, come on.
Late, well yeah, obviously late Easter, but I mean, like, hello?
Welcome back to the podcast, everybody.
We hope you're well, as always. So, last time we had a little band called Forever You Roam from North Carolina on the show. Had a wonderful time talking to them about their new sound and their previous stuff. So, it was wonderful to have them once again on the show. And yeah, hey Adam, how you doing? And yeah, so, and today we're gonna do, instead of looking to the future, we're gonna look to the past. And we're gonna be throwing it back all the way to the noughties by looking at the pop punk / rock genres during that decade and beyond. I hope everyone is doing well, and we would like to introduce our guest, the Anna B. Welcome, Anna.
Hi.
How you doing?
Oh, you know,
Welcome. It's good. It's good to have you.
it's good to be here.
Oh, this is gonna be.
This is gonna go well.
Be great.
Oh, always
Alright.
a pleasure, guys.
All right, Anna, if you wouldn't mind just introducing yourself, telling a little bit about yourself.
Well, hi, I'm Anna. I'm 21, even though I look 12. I am a Twitch streamer. Twitch.tv/ Never mind.
Go on.
Sell out.
Sell out. Go ahead. It's fine.
No, it's fine.
It's not like it's already on the
It's already on the
podcast.
screen. It's on the screen. You don't need me to say it. Yeah, I don't know. That's about all there is to me.
Oh, okay. Go on. Hey, Paul. Welcome.
You know, just Adam and Zach's best friend. I don't know.
That's facts. That's facts.
Yeah, true.
She's only speaking facts. Alright, so, yeah, definitely go check her out, give her a follow. She's a wonderful human, a lot of fun to watch on Twitch.
Very awkward.
Nah, there's a
Awkward. Nah.
Awkward, but I do my best.
She does a wonderful job. Alright, so let's get this podcast rolling, getting into the, 90s and 2000s, rock, pop punk, a little bit of metal in there.
So tell me all about it.
All right, Adam, you want to kick this off with the first band you want to talk about?
So basically, I feel like, obviously, so I had to look at, in order for me to be prepared for this podcast, I had to look at the top 10 bands of the noughties, regardless if they're rock, metal, and punk rock and pop punk. So the list of this, according to Spin Ditty, and this is their list, not mine, but theirs.com. These are the best rock bands of the noughties. So first off is Linkin Park. We can talk a bit about them later on. Avenged Sevenfold, Green Day. That's the first band we're going to cover. Snow Patrol, Korn, Nickelback, Slipknot, Fall Out Boy, A System of a Down, and lastly, yep, man's got a t-shirt on for it. And also lastly, and out of the three bands that we picked, we also picked Blink 182 to talk about as well today. So yeah.
I'm prepared. I have a Green Day shirt and I didn't even wear it.
Well, that's fine.
We can go relive. We can relive if you want.
Yeah. We can take like a 5-minute intermission, right? No, I'm kidding.
I know
right.
exactly where it is too. Okay, fine.
Alright, so do you just want to work down the list starting with Linkin Park and going down from there?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, so with Linkin Park, as we all know, I don't think we all know this, but this will be interesting to see what people know and what people don't. So if you guys have any comments, let us know in the chat. We can see the chat here as well, and then obviously Zach and Anna can see the chat as well. With the list, I just decided I was going to find a random list and just like, so we just picked the three off of there that we all know really. So Linkin Park, pretty much known for their new metal, such alternative metal sounding. So albums like Meteora, Hybrid Theory, Minster Midnight, I believe, as well. Yes. 1,000
And,
Suns, Living Things, Recharge, and so on. Basically define the whole sound.
And Adam, before you continue on, big ol' rest in peace to Chester.
Yes.
Gonna miss a legend.
I cried.
Like straight legend. Miss that dude. Definitely lost a wonderful soul.
Absolutely.
Rest in peace to him.
Absolutely.
Didn't he? Never mind.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rip.
Yes.
So
Moment of silence.
So just in case anybody doesn't know, he did end up taking his own life. Very sad. But we're not going to get into sad topics.
But it happened.
Definitely rest in peace to him. I know for me personally, like I love the album Hybrid Theory, as does pretty much all Linkin Park fans. It's one of their
That's the
best.
only one I really know.
Yeah, that's definitely the one that most people know and most people like incorporate with Linkin Park. I mean, it's a wonderful album. Like the whole album, at least in my opinion, is great. I love every song on that album.
Same. Like, I feel like Hybrid 3 is definitely their strongest one. So I wanted to quickly, as we are talking about the 3 that I picked out earlier, out of the 10, out of the list of 10 that we just talked about, I wanted to pick out 3 specific ones. As I said, Linkin Park is one, so we'll start that one now, and then we'll go down. Then we'll work our way down from there. So, Linkin Park, we're gonna have to talk. We were gonna have to talk about them. It is not. It was the noughties. The noughties was probably one of the best like generations or decades for pop punk, pop rock, emo, etc. in general, and also obviously for metal, because new metal and alternative metal. We're gonna have to talk about Linkin Park and their influences on the genres that we know today. Linkin Park, if you guys did not know, was formed in 1986 and signed a record deal with Warner Bros. In 1999. The band debuted their iconic album, Hybrid Theory, as such just mentioned, in 2000 with unfortunate poor critical reception. However, it was the fan base that reacted to the album, and Linkin Park ended up selling 4.8 million copies in its first year during the album cycle. Hybrid Theory was also nominated for 3 Grammy Awards: Best New Artist, Best Rock Album, and Best Hardcore Rock Performance for, obviously, their song Calling, which I think is probably one of my favourites of the album. And that is the one that they won the Grammy for. Unfortunately, they didn't win Best New Artist and Best Rock Album, but they did win Best...
One's better than none.
Yes. One's better than none.
Did they deserve all 3?
Yes.
Most definitely, but critics. All right. So the one thing I want to bring up with Crawling is the music video. Have you guys watched it?
No, I've not.
Like recently at all?
No.
It's it's like that really terrible CGI early 2000s.
I know exactly.
It's it's a wonderful song, and like back in its time, the music video was great. But if you go back and watch it now, it's just you're just like, why?
I think that's how it's always been with like the older 2000s music videos.
Absolutely.
I feel like you could watch any of them now and be like, it's a choice.
Oh, definitely. Like legit, it's. I feel like noughties music videos in particular, they stand out for that specific reason. Like, I don't think there's any like real music videos in the past like 10 years apart from ones that have obviously been massive memes and stuff like that really have like their own like definitive. And you can just tell when the era is in noughties ones compared to the 10s and maybe now, and obviously now we're in the 20s decade. There's that very much idea of, oh, this is okay. So this is obviously from the noughties, whereas this is from the 10s and this is from the 20s, because the noughties sticks out as the years of MTV, the years of like all that kind of like genres of like music video, and also obviously Linkin Park coming out with their songs and albums. So, alright, so when Hybrid, in the end, Linkin Park had a grimy music video for. That's actually not a bad point, Giselle. I will admit that's not a bad point. It was a very, I know how you guys feel about the in the end video, but I feel like for me at least it's very much a to the point. It's very obviously in the end it's set in the post-apocalyptic world for a specific reason. So
yeah, it's definitely like a in-your-face type of music video. It gets straight to the point. Like, it's showing you exactly what they're trying to say in that song.
Absolutely.
And they did a really good job with it. Even with how, you know, like Giselle said in the chat, like, grimy it was.
Absolutely. Any thoughts on it, Anna?
I'll be honest, I don't remember the video.
It's all good.
That's fair. That's fine.
It's a good song. Isn't In the End like their biggest song?
In the end, it's one of the biggest. I think
it's definitely I would say safely in the top 5, if not the top 3.
I feel like that's definitely songs. It might not be the biggest, but I feel like that's the one that everyone knows when you think about.
It's really like it. Like, at least in my opinion, it would be In the End, One Step Closer, and Crawling. Like, those are the 3 that.
Numb as well, I think.
Numb,
But obviously, just going off based off of Hybrid Theory, Crawling, and One Step Closer, and then obviously, as you just said, In the End.
Yeah, that's like anytime somebody talks about Linkin Park, those are like the main songs people go to.
That's just In the End is the lyrics that like instantly pop into my head when I think about them.
Just so hard, got so far.
There he goes.
Going into singing again, Adam?
Hey, it's a habit.
Hey, Adam, listen.
No one's complaining.
Habit.
No one's complaining.
You do you, but do what you got to do to be happy.
Oh, good God. Anyway, so moving on to a few years later, and I feel like this is probably my favourite album out of the Linkin Park's category, or catalogue, or however you want to say it. Linkin Park, so around a few years later after the release of Hybrid Theory and obviously the tour that came with that, they started to write new material while completing their extensive promotional tour schedule for obviously the new music. What I've done for me? That's actually a pretty solid song, I'd say, Giselle. I'd say that's pretty solid. I guess, yeah. So obviously, as I was saying, the resulting album from those like sessions that they did on tour in the recording studio in the bus that they had, came Meteora, which was released in 2003. It went to number 1 in the US album charts. It sold more than 800,000 copies in its first week, which is quite impressive in my opinion.
Yeah, that's an insanely high number for a week.
Especially for the time as well, because digital music wasn't really a thing.
Yeah, because back then it was CDs. There was even still records back then. I mean, there's still records now. They're not as big, but back then, like, CDs were just coming out to be a thing. There was tapes and 8-track players, and there was still records. You had to go into stores to buy those. So it's a lot different than now than you just being able to go on Spotify or here on YouTube or anything like that and just stream the music. You actually had to go to a music store and buy the actual physical item.
I think I prefer it like that.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's a lot more personal, I guess, for lack of a better term. It's a lot more personal with the music.
I definitely like that music is a lot more accessible now, but it was definitely cooler back then.
Oh yeah, definitely. I feel like music now it still hasn't found that way to like find it. I feel like compared to like 10, 20 years ago, there's that music does still bring people together, but I feel like it's more on of a digital level than it is on a physical level. Because we have Instagram, we have Snapchat, we have Twitter, we have obviously as I said, all the social different platforms, and obviously TikTok now, which is where I came across Anna, and
same.
TikTok famous.
Yas queen. What the fuck?
Yeah. Because I definitely like remember as a kid, and I know we'll get to Green Day a little later, but I remember like as a kid with my walk, I had a Walkman with like the headphones and everything with the Green Day Dookie album, blasting walking to school. Great album, love it.
We'll go over that one as well.
Yeah, we'll go there, but yeah, I'd say it's like just back then, like walking to school in like 3rd grade with a Walkman, listening to Green Day Dookie, like it's such a completely different time now. Where now I can just hop on my phone and look up any song whenever, wherever.
Absolutely.
All of my music taste came from my mom. Like we would just jam out on car rides, and that was probably like the only time that like I ever really listened to music, because like I really had technology as a kid until I got like my computer. But yeah, CDs were about the extent of my music history as a child.
Nice.
Yeah.
If my mom didn't listen to it, I did not listen to it.
That's
like
fair.
Yeah, I guess like the car rides thing was kind of similar situation as well, because I mostly I think I've mentioned this on the first podcast as well. Most of my first experiences with music came from rides with my dad in his car, like listening to like Busted, Lady Gaga, Bruce Springsteen especially as well, because he's a massive Bruce Springsteen fan. I've bought him every album since I can when I started paying and shit. So for me personally, I feel like car rides is the best, like the perfect time for you to like just lose yourself in music, and obviously just watch driving, and it helps. I feel like it helps.
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little bit different for me. Like, I got most of my music taste from my dad, but it wasn't even in car rides. Like he had a boom box, like a stereo, and he'd play his CDs, and like we'd be having a party at his house or something. We'd have a bunch of friends over, and he'd be blasting, Green Day, Disturbed, Linkin Park, just all kinds of all kinds of rock and metal bands, because that's like the main premise of what I listen to. Is pretty much all from him. And then I got like listening to country from my mom, and I know how some people, Anna, feel about country.
Hey, I am
Wait, what do you mean?
slowly getting broken down. Okay, there are some bops, but this isn't a country podcast, so we're not going to talk about it.
Wait.
Actually, it's a music podcast.
This
Anna.
episode is not a country episode.
Oh, Adam, we're gonna have to talk later about some future podcast ideas.
Gotta go.
Then she just hugs up, and that's the end of it.
Like, that's it. Alright, thanks for having me, guys. I'm gonna head out.
Well, no, see, because the thing is, if we were to do like a podcast episode focused on country, it would just be me talking.
Yeah, it would.
That's all it would be.
It really would.
Because
I can get down with some Johnny Cash. Okay, it's like OG country music. That's it. That's all I got.
Oh God, man.
Anna, there's so much more.
No.
I'm gonna get you to listen to it someday.
Yeah. All right.
You're not gonna like it, but
Adam, bring us back.
Alright, okay, so going back to Linkin Park, Meteor, I'd say that's my favourite album. Like, throughout the entire category. Numb, and then, I think, what else? I'm trying to think of the exact, like, things, because I do have it on my phone, I do listen to it occasionally. I'm just trying to remember the exact, like, the singles that are on there. But anyway, I feel like that's my favourite album. I feel like I can relate to that one more. So, especially with the song Numb, because it's like you're trying to be someone that you're not, just to please other people, and that resonates with me personally for like personal reasons, and obviously when it comes to like working on different things as well. So yeah, I thought Meteora is definitely one of my favorites.
I feel like it's easy to connect with music like this because it's very emotion based, and like with any of the bands from this time frame, like it's just easy to be angsty,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
2000 were an angsty time for all of us.
Oh yeah,
I'm still angsty.
One song I really love off the Meteora album is "Breaking the Habit."
Absolutely.
I I really love that song. It's a really good song.
Yeah. Yeah. So after Meteor, they proceeded to release a number of singles, singles, EPs, and
English is hard, everybody.
It is, especially for an Englishman like me.
He's from the UK. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. I have an excuse. It's fine.
It's not his fault he wasn't born in. Never.
Anna.
I'm so sorry.
Hey,
I'm so sorry to all the people I offended.
Hey, free healthcare. It's fine.
That's gonna come back to bite me in a few years. I'm gonna get famous and they're gonna be like, she hates everyone
free
that's
healthcare.
not in America.
Just saying, we get free healthcare. You don't. So just saying.
Well,
hey, I get free healthcare.
Oh, good God. But yeah, as I was saying, so over the years they proceeded to release their following albums: Minutes to Midnight in 2007, 1,000 Suns in 2010, Living Things in 2012, Recharged which has a song with Stevie Aoki, I think, as well, Aoki on it as well. In 2013, Hunting Pie, which is another one of my favorites. One More Light, absolutely amazing album. And unfortunately, that One More Light was the last album that was produced by Linkin Park before Chester Bennington's passing on July 20th, 2017.
oh my God, that was 2017.
Yeah, 4 years ago.
Yeah,
nearly.
it's been almost 4 years.
Oh my God, I remember the day that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, I did not realize that was so long ago.
Yeah, because I remember on the album One More Light, the single, I believe they released Heavy before they released the album. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. And that song was so good. And like a lot of people criticized it like really hard because they were like, "Oh, that's not Linkin Park, that's not their sound." And I was like, it's still a good song. Like
That's one of my favorites.
It's so good. It's definitely one of my favorite. It's definitely my favorite from like the newer stuff they had put out.
Yeah, like it's for me personally, like Hunting Party. It's very. I don't know if either of you have listened to that album, but it's very much an orchestral album. It's very there's a lot of less singing and more orchestral stuff, so there's sort of guitars obviously, and obviously basic like rhythms and stuff that kept it going, and I feel like that's probably their most underrated record. Oh yeah, there's another one that I forgot to mention as well, Retaliation in 2002. They also released that one as well. In between I believe it was Hybrid Theory and Meteora. Yeah. So yeah.
Yep.
Anyway.
So looking up, it's what I believe either Anna or you, Adam, brought it up, like talking about their songs and like which one's like the most like listened to. On Spotify, the number one most popular song is "In the End" with over 950 million listens.
Jesus Christ, that's gonna hit 1 billion in the next few years.
I knew that was gonna be the biggest.
Yeah, it's In the End, then Numb, then What I've Done, then Numb Encore, and then One Step Closer. Those are the top 5 most popular on Spotify. That's an insane amount of listens.
That's insane.
True.
I think it all spiked up as well after Jesse Bennington's passing as well, unfortunately.
Yeah. One really big thing that I really like about Linkin Park is the combination of Chester and Mike Shinoda. How Chester actually had like the singing and the screamo lyrics in there, and then Mike Shinoda would come in with more of the raps, and they would combine those two in songs, and they did such a wonderful job with it. They did so good.
Absolutely.
I love that so much.
shall we move on to the next band in the list?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I guess we can. You know, we might as well just touch on that top 10. We might as well just touch on each of them, apart from obviously the main ones, which we can go into depth for the ones that we got notes for.
Okay.
So Avenged Sevenfold, that
I
band.
don't know this one at all.
So that space. So obviously, I'm not sure if anyone obviously doesn't know this one, but metalcore and heavy metal. Those guys were very much of a case of long riffs equals awesome tracks, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I can't think of any of them specifically. I really can't, because I've not listened to Avenged Sevenfold in a while. I think 7 is one of the albums, I think.
I don't remember. I never really listened to them much. The one song that in my opinion they're like most known by is "Hail to the King."
Oh yeah, definitely. I have that album.
Yeah,
I actually have the album.
The actual song "Hail to the King." Like they're definitely a good band. They are a great band. I just don't listen to them all that much. But they're definitely really, really good, even still to this day. Like, if an Avenged Sevenfold song were to come on, I'm more than likely not going to know it, but I'll still bop to it.
Avenged Sevenfold has I think they're like one of those bands who have been around for quite a long time, just like Green Day, well, obviously before Linkin Park broke up, they said they would actually reunite at all. I feel like Avenged Sevenfold definitely is like one of those bands which just gets better every record that they do. I don't think that's really a bad Avenged Sevenfold record, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's
because Avenged Sevenfold, they debuted in 2001 with "Sounding the Seventh Trumpet."
Mm-hmm.
That was their debut.
Okay.
And then they adopted a more modern rock, heavy metal forward style on the 2005 album "City of Evil," and then they really broke into the mainstream in 2007 with their release of that's a word eponymous fourth LP. And they released "Hail to the King" in 2013, which achieved gold and platinum status, and in 2016's "The Stage" album that earned them a Grammy nomination.
And then I think there's one more as well. There's been one more since.
I don't really. They released a album in 2020 at some point. I don't know when, called "Diamonds in the Rough."
I remember, yeah.
I know very little, if not absolutely nothing about Avenged Sevenfold.
Same.
Yep.
Other than they are actually a good band.
Yeah, same. I don't think there's really any. I don't really have many stories to do with like Avenged Sevenfold's music, apart from the fact that I just remember them doing Zombies anthem. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Anyway, moving on to the next band, and I know that Anna's really excited for this one because you can see her smiling. She's like popping her, she's like, "Oh my god!" Green Day.
May or may not be.
I wonder why we have you on.
I know a little bit about them.
A little bit.
All
right, Anna. Lead the way.
Lead the way.
No, it's okay. I didn't do all this research.
It's like I spent the last 11 hours doing it.
Yeah, it's fine. You did all this research. You got this.
Alright, but you're gonna have to chime in. Right. So
I'll give my opinions. You can just get the facts.
Alright, so for those who aren't aware, Green Day wasn't originally called Green Day. It was called originally Sweet Children. The original members, which were Billy Joe Armstrong, Mike Dirnt, Mike Dirnt, and then the drummer Al Sobrante. Released the very first album called 39/Smooth, which was then repackaged as 1039/Smoothed Out Slappy Hours, when they changed their name to, obviously, as we know, Green Day. Not long after that album was released, Semblance was released by J. Cole. Or J. Cool, rather.
Yeah, Sobrante was replaced by Trey Cool.
Yep, I love him.
Green Day, they really built a cult following in California's pop punk revival scene at the time, and this really allowed them to become one of the main like powerhouses in like the punk revival scene. Like they were one of the, and even to this day, one of the biggest powerhouses in like the punk scene.
Yeah, Anna, how would you obviously you've basically followed Green Day pretty much all your life
Since birth.
Since birth.
Birth.
She's basically born into the fan base, but like how
A1.
like what how would you describe where they started and where they've basically come to?
We don't need to talk about where they're currently at.
Fatherful wasn't a bad record. That's just my opinion. Fatherful wasn't a bad record.
It was horrible. No, it is the only Green Day album that I have ever listened to that I did not listen to all the way through. I have not heard all of the songs on the album because that drop was probably I think I was definitely more excited for Revolution Radio. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Revolution Radio. I was super pumped for that drop, and that album I really loved. And then Father of All got announced that it was being dropped, and I was like, oh yeah, and then it dropped. And I'm pretty sure just the single Father of All I listened to and was like, what?
Yeah.
What is this? They tried to change their sound, which like is great, except not for like the diehard Green Day fans. I feel like we were all a little bit let down because it wasn't the same sound, you know?
Yeah.
Can I quickly butt in here with something about experimentation? Experimentation, I think, especially for a band such as Green Day and such as a band like Bring Your Horizon also, experimentation is very, very, very daunting, I feel like, because you don't know what they're going to come out with. You don't know if it's going to be the same. You don't know if it's going to be different or if it's going to be like, you know, like a new era on their new sound.
Yeah. And you definitely don't know if it's gonna if it's gonna be good, or you know, in this case, not so good.
Well, it's hard, especially with like bands like Green Day, because they've been around for so long and they put out so many albums of the same similar sounding that like once you change it, you're gonna have like the loyal fans just like,
you're gonna have a little bit of backlash.
What? Yeah, exactly. And I know that this album did not do as well as all of the rest of them, but I don't know. I was supposed to go to the tour, and then I heard the album, and I was like, oh, I hope they play their old songs.
Well, I'm pretty sure they'll definitely play their old songs, but
well, for sure. But
their main focus is gonna be their new album.
No thanks. No, thank you.
You're like,
I'm okay. No thanks.
I'm good.
I don't know. What album was your guys' favorite album?
Oh.
Classic American Idiot.
Oh, of course.
I'm gonna have to say the
same.
same.
Of course. I mean that's like a very basic favorite album of Green Day. That's what most people like. That's most people's favorite album.
I feel like it's definitely either American Idiot or 21st Century Breakdown that everyone thinks about, because, you know, that one has songs like 21 Guns and stuff. I know everyone knows 21 Guns.
Everybody knows 21 Guns. Yeah. If you don't know 21 Guns, you're missing out.
Yeah, facts.
Literally, you're on YouTube already. All you gotta do is open up a new tab, go to youtube.com, and then type in 21 Guns, and then you're sorted. Your life is complete.
Add it to your playlist, listen to it later.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, hey, like even open up Spotify, put a little bit quiet, give it a listen to now. But please don't leave us. Please don't leave us.
I'm trying my best.
But
yeah, so at the time of their startup, you know, the albums that started to allow them to like get recognized for their real iconic sound included Kerplunk, that came out in what, 92?
Mm-hmm. Yep, 1992.
And then they came out with they released Dookie in 94. which I want to talk about. Dookie. It's so funny.
It's such a
I
weird
love
ass
it.
title, but it's such a good album.
Okay, to be fair, Billy Joe Armstrong is just a weird dude.
Yes.
He's weird. I love him to death, but he's
But
weird.
He is, and like the album cover for that. Interesting.
Yeah.
It's definitely a
Boss Kiss
interesting
is on that
album
one, isn't it?
cover.
Yeah.
But wait, which one?
Yeah.
What, Adam?
Basket Case was on Dookie, right? I think. Am I wrong?
Basket Case? Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I'm almost certain it was. Yeah, and
Dookie was When I Come Around, Basket Case, Welcome to Paradise.
Yeah, and then with the release of Dookie, it earned them a Grammy, and that record sold more than 15 million copies worldwide.
As it should.
Yeah, I mean, as weird of like an album name and album cover it is,
It's good.
the songs within are phenomenal. Like it was definitely a really good album. And then after a few more releases over a couple years, they ended up taking a 4-year hiatus, and then they came back in 2004 with American Idiot that sold more than 12 million copies, and I feel like that album really like solidified their sound and who they were.
Okay, before we talk about how great American Idiot is, you can't just skip over Insomniac. You can't.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm not heard
That
that
one
one yet.
literally, Insomniac literally has Brain Stew on it, and you can't tell me
Yeah.
that that's not the most known Green Day song.
It's definitely one of their most known, easily.
Insomniac was a freaking good album, even though people only acknowledge it for Brain Stew, but that's fine. Anyway,
Yeah, you're right.
I had to give it credit where credit is due.
They actually got inducted into the Hall of Fame as well. I didn't put this on this slide because I wanted to say it. In 2015, they got inducted in the Hall of Rock Fame, or what you want to call it.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, yeah. Which I mean, of course, like how couldn't they? They've been a band for over 20 years, and they consistently put out great music, great songs. Like, it only makes sense that they would be put into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, because they really started like at least in my opinion like a movement with their music.
Absolutely.
All right, we can talk about American Idiot now.
All right.
I'm ready.
Yeah, American Idiot, released in 2004, sold over 12 million copies at the time. Now it's definitely way more.
I feel like with American Idiot, I feel like you could name at least more than one song on that album.
Oh yeah,
Alright, bet.
yeah.
Alright, bet. So, Jesus is a Baby, A Holiday, Boulevard of Broken Dreams, American Idiot, obviously.
You're missing the best one.
And what would that
Wake
be?
Me Up When September
There you go, that's it.
It's her favorite song.
I know.
Yeah, so
Hey, Triple.
I want to point out what Giselle said in the chat, bringing up. She said, I'd have thought Boulevard of Broken Dreams was their most well-known song. It's like they have so many good songs that it's really hard to pinpoint it on one song or just a few songs that would be their most well-known.
Spotify says, oh, Basket Case is their most played.
Streamed.
Wow, I was wrong.
What's their number? What's
Their
the
number
top
one,
five?
top 5. Number 1 is Basket Case. Number 2 is American Idiot. Number 3 is Wake Me Up When September Ends. Number 4 is 21 Guns, and 5 is Good Riddance. Time of Your Life.
That is a really good song.
Oh my God, they played that as their closing song at the concert that I went to. When I tell you that I cried so hard, they were like, "I hope you had the time of your life," and I was like, "I did."
Oh.
It's like, I really did. But Yeah, that's surprising to me. I feel like Brain Stew is the one that everyone, because of the music, like that.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone just knows it.
Yeah,
what about the
definitely.
what about the series of? Is it the series of like? I think they use like Spanish words for the titles. I can't remember the life.
Uno, dos, tres.
Yeah, Uno, dos, tres.
Um,
Can we talk about those for a sec?
I
There's
mean,
a
yeah,
few.
we can.
There's a few songs on each of them which are good, but there's a few but the majority of them I don't vibe with.
I personally, I don't know how much time they put into them, but to me, it kind of just felt like they just like
Rushed.
There's like here.
shoved music, because like that's a lot of music, because it was the 3 different, and
Albums.
they all like Uno has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 songs on it, and I don't know.
Doesn't
I wasn't
Dress
a
have
fan.
similar? Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean like with every band, and especially with Linkin Park being as big as they are and as big as they have been, like it's really it's inevitable to not put out, you know, not as good music as you put out prior. Like it's gonna happen.
So that was a lot all like at once, because they all got released in 2012, so they all just kind of said
They
Yeah.
went,
have 3 albums that
Mm,
are not gonna do that well.
yeah, I feel like with the release of multiple albums in a year, like EPs, you can probably pull off, right? Spread like 3, 4 of them across a year, right? And it'd be completely fine because they all bring a different vibe, right? However, with albums such as obviously On the Stores Tres, I feel like there are songs which obviously, as I said before, stand out, but the rest of them just don't mix well at all. Like I'm trying to remember like a few songs which were pretty good off those albums, but I can't name them for the life
No,
of me.
I don't think I could even name songs
I
from those ones.
no, I couldn't.
But yeah, I feel like Green Day is one of those bands who, for me at least, have
Nose
grown.
won't stop itching.
have grown.
Sorry, I'm just freaking struggling.
Take allergy medicine.
I need to. I'm just trying to stop itching my nose, but every 2 seconds I do it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
It's okay.
That's fine.
So, I feel like On the Stores Tres is like one of those ones where it's like, yeah, don't basically. I feel like On the Stores Tres is one of those ones where it's a prime example of don't release multiple albums, release multiple EPs all you want, but don't release multiple albums over the course of a year, unless you.
I think in 2012 it was definitely about quantity.
Over quality.
Quality.
Yeah.
It was definitely a quantity over quality. I feel like they just wanted to push out music and they just rushed it instead of like taking their time and trying to put out an album. Is there anything else we want to touch on with Green Day?
I mean, we can talk about Revolution Radio for a bit, I guess.
I really love that album a lot.
Alright, go. Tell us about it.
I don't know. I appreciated it because it sounded like old Green Day, you know? And there's a song on it, Ordinary World, where Billy Joe Armstrong literally is just singing with him in a guitar. And it was so...
Just the
when I saw it in concert, he like brought out like a little stool and just sat, and it was just him with a guitar and a spotlight, and I was just sitting there like, I feel like Green Day gets a lot of hate because they use the same chords, you know? Everyone's like, oh, their songs, like, they all have the same sound. But, like, he has a good voice. And it never gets, like, well, like, obviously it does get recognition, clearly. But, like, everyone always just focuses on the sound and not, like, the lyrics or the hymn.
Yeah.
He's good.
I feel like
he's very talented.
I feel like a lot of Green Day songs have, when you look really like, if you listen to them like casually, it's like, okay, cool, they're awesome, etc. Whatever you want to say. But if you're like a hardcore fan, like obviously Anna is, and if you're like a fan like I am, where I'm very into like themes, and I like reading up on like lyrics and stuff. Green Day is one of the prime examples, I feel, where there's a meaning to every single lyric. There's a meaning of this is us, and this is who we want to be. And if you don't like it, you can fuck off, pretty much.
Well, one of the things that like I really appreciate about Green Day, even if like I'm not gonna get into their opinions, but they're very open about their political beliefs, you know?
Yeah.
And it's very evident when you go to concerts because like he just gives speeches, and sometimes it's a lot because sometimes you're there for the music, obviously. But I do appreciate that, like, regardless of if you agree with their opinions, like they still use their platform to like try and spread.
Yeah.
I don't want to say positivity because they're not always positive about their opinions, but like they still try to. It doesn't feel like it's just for like the money with them, you know, like they try and use their platform for good. And I appreciate that because a lot of famous people or like musicians or whatever stay silent about like world problems because they don't want to get hate. But Green Day doesn't give a fuck. Like
no, they really don't.
They get on stage and they're like, "You're here for us, and if you don't like my opinion, leave."
Yeah. But no, not Sum 41. True.
Well, yeah, they're not.
They're
Sum
different.
41, they're Green Day.
They're Green Day.
You guys feel good to move on to the next band?
Yeah, we don't have to talk about volleyball at all. So.
Snow Patrol.
All right. So Snow Patrol. I have no idea who they are.
Chasing Cars.
Yep.
Pretty much.
You know that song. You know that song. There's no way you don't know that song, Zach.
It sounds familiar. Let me.
Are we gonna have to educate
Isn't that the one that's like? Wait, isn't it? Now I'm scared that I'm scared that I'm getting the lyrics wrong. I know the song. I'm just scared that I'm switching it. Isn't it If I Just Lay Here? Isn't that the song?
Would you like me just forget the word? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. I know it.
Everybody knows that song.
I'm British. I have to know that song.
Isn't this a UK band?
Yeah. Snow Patrol is a UK band. I didn't do my research on these guys because we picked 3 specific ones out of the lot, and we've already we covered 2 of them already.
I don't know much about them. I just know
let me get up the category.
Freaking knows, I swear to God.
I got up the overview about them, Adam.
Alright, bet. Do you want to run this
So this is their bio on Spotify for Snow Patrol. They are a Scottish-Irish alt-rock outfit. Snow Patrol broke into the mainstream with their 2003 major label debut, Final Straw. A collection of earnest tunes aligned with sounds of contemporaries like Coldplay. They followed up with the multi-platinum success of 2006's Eyes Open, which featured the international hit single Chasing Cars, and continued with a pair of UK top 10 platinum efforts, 100 Million Suns in 2008 and Fallen Empires in 2011. After an extended 6-year hiatus, during which time the frontman Gary Lightbody worked as a songwriter for pop artists, the band returned with Wildness in 2018.
Yeah, like Snow Patrol has definitely influenced a lot of British musicians over the years. They have had they've had so much, like, in terms of like being recognized for their music, but obviously like half of their albums are very much, you know, like they're different. They are different, like many artists are, but obviously Green Day transitioning from revolutionary to Path of All, which we will not speak about. Like Snow Patrol for sure is definitely one of those groups where I feel they've definitely influenced a lot, and I feel like as they go on, I feel they're only just getting it better. So
yeah. I mean, So on Spotify, like there's a long-winded bio about them going through all their stuff. But apparently, they began originally from Northern Ireland. They relocated to Scotland during their teenage years to attend college. They went to the University of Dundee in '94. They began composing music under several different band names, including Shrug and Polar Bear. They eventually adopted the Snow Patrol moniker and enlisted Johnny Quinn to play drums in '97.
Could you imagine if they kept the name Polar Bear?
That'd been so funny.
So actually, in '98, they signed with Jeepster Records, a small label based in London, and they released the debut effort, Songs for Polar Bears.
Can you just imagine being like, oh, dude, check out my favorite band. Oh, what's your favorite band?
Polar Bears.
Polar Bears? What?
Google says
like,
in alternate reality just pulls up Polar Bears as like the best like British band in the year. But if we're gonna briefly talk about British bands, we got to talk about Arctic Monkeys.
Oh,
Like
good band.
legit, like
Don't know much about them. Haven't really listened.
I don't
to
know
them
much
at all.
about them, but they're good.
they're good. AM best record from that year. Yeah. AM's definitely best record, I think, of 2012. I want to say 2012. I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't really know dates. But definitely worth checking out.
Okay, yeah, I know them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't name you a single song from them. I think I may have listened to them in passing.
Do I
once
want
or
to know?
twice, but...
They sing "Why Do You Only Call Me When You're High." I know that song. That's a good
TikTok.
song.
That's a
I knew that before TikTok though.
Nice.
that's a title.
It's a good song though.
I'll definitely have to give that a listen.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yes, for the most part, yeah, that's
I
pretty
know
much it.
nothing about this next band, so.
Corn.
Oh, we're going into Korn. Oh,
Right, so you guys.
yes.
Go on.
Yes, Korn is one of the many bands my father has introduced me to. Definitely, they're a strange band.
They really are.
So my favorite album of theirs, released in 1996, is called Life is Peachy. The first song on that album is called Twist. It is 49 seconds. It is nothing but the lead singer making random noises. If you listen to it, you're gonna understand what I mean. And they have really interesting names to their songs. They have a song called Porno Creep off the Life is Peachy album. They have a song called Adidas, which is an acronym. And in the song they say, "All day I dream about sex." That's, yeah. And then another song off that album is called Ass Itch. Interesting band.
You can fill in the blanks.
I absolutely love this band. I feel like they're most well known for their song "Freak on a Leash."
Yeah.
That was on their Follow the Leader album that came out in '98.
I feel.
Yo, go ahead, Adam.
I personally got into Korn with their 2018 album or 2019 album. Let me look at this up because I should be prepared. Nothing. The nothing. Nothing for me. I feel like is one of the best like albums by them. I listened to the majority of their albums, but I feel like the Nothing, where it's like, it's there's so much electronic, but there's also really deep like heavy like bass and everything to it, because that's what Korn is basically known for. It's like all that deep basses and all that stuff like that. So for me, I think the Nothing is definitely a standout album. Yeah,
definitely. If you listen to their older stuff, like their debut album is self-titled Korn. The lead singer of Korn, he went through a lot of trauma as a child and has issues to say the least. But definitely like a wonderful person. Off their self-titled album, probably their most famous song off that album is called Chutes and Ladders. And that is them doing heavy metal renditions of nursery rhymes.
Oh. Interesting.
It's it's definitely something I would suggest listening to just because it's kind of funny. Just listening to heavy metal nursery rhymes, it's just hilarious.
It's something, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's. But Korn is. I'm not gonna say they're one of my favorite heavy metal bands because that's not true, but I definitely really like them a lot.
Okay, moving on to the next one, Nickelback. Now, right, they've gotten a lot of shit over the years.
So many people dislike
So
Nickelback.
many people. What's the
So
bad?
many.
No. You know what? No. At some point, some little fuckhead teenager said they're not cool, and somehow that made its way around the internet, and everyone just collectively came together and was like, "No, we have to hate Nickelback." I don't believe for a second that anyone actually hates Nickelback.
I love
Oh, no,
Nickelback.
I've loved them since I was a kid.
No, everybody has. I don't believe for a second that. I mean, like, clearly there's gonna be people that don't like it, but I feel like you can appreciate it.
Yeah, because their album released in 2001, Silver Side Up, probably one of their most well-known albums. I had it was like a 2 CD set. Like, you bought the thing, came with 2 CDs, and it was my favorite album as a kid.
Oh yeah, that has like their most
Yep.
song on it.
Yep. How You Remind Me.
That's my favorite song. That's just a hands down fact. Like, it's such a good. This is how you remind me. Can we talk about the lead singer's hair in that video though? It's literally stands out.
I don't even remember the video.
Hey,
It's wonderful. His hair's amazing.
Look at this photograph.
Yeah. That's a meme and a half.
Yeah.
I love that.
don't come at Chad Kroeger like that, okay? Let the man live.
Wasn't he married to Avril Lavigne at some point?
Oh shit, was it? I think so, wasn't it?
I'm pretty sure he was.
Maybe. I don't know that much.
I will judge the three of you now. What's the best song about him? How You Remind Me, obviously.
Yeah.
If somebody says Rockstar, I'm gonna eat myself off the bed.
Let's see.
Yeah, fun fact, if you didn't know, they're Canadian.
Ooh, Canada, eh?
Yeah, so their bio on Spotify says.
Oh, I like Today Was Your Last Day. Sorry, I just remembered what my favorite song was.
That's fine. It says few bands did more than Nickelback to establish the force of slick, commercially minded post-grunge in the 2000s. Led by vocalist Chad Kroeger, the band initially emerged in the late 90s as Canada's answer to Creed. Prizing a blend of gruff vocals and distorted yet radio-friendly guitars. After a handful of singles that failed to gain much traction in Canada, How You Remind Me caught hold in 2001, eventually topping the charts in several countries while gathering 4 Grammy nominations and 4 Juno Awards.
Does anybody remember Juno Awards?
No.
No.
I remember of them. I remember nothing else about them.
The Juno Awards were like
nothing else.
literally like, hey, I think they probably rebranded to like the Grammys or something. I don't know, unless the Grammys always existed. Photographs so funny.
True.
Yeah, like it's just...
Good song, but yeah.
Look at this photograph.
I hate that I can't appreciate it anymore without it being a meme.
Okay. Can we talk about Rockstar? By
I can't stand that one. I just can't.
The,
I don't know what it is about it. I just can't stand it.
it's like we all just want to be big rock stars.
Oh. What?
Yeah.
You can't vibe to that
I
song?
can't.
That song is a boss.
I can't.
It's a vibe. It's definitely
sure.
not like the best song in the world.
no,
but I feel like when it comes on at like a party, like I would vibe.
Oh, 100%. But definitely my favorite song by them is Never Again.
Yeah, I just like If Today Was Your Last Day.
Yeah, Never Again is, at least in my opinion, a very controversial song because the song is about domestic abuse.
Oh.
Yeah.
The song for those who don't know, I'm going to explain it if you guys don't mind.
Trigger warning, guess as well.
Huh?
No, it's gone.
He said trigger warning.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Trigger warning for anybody who...
TW.
So the song talks about a perspective of a friend, at least this is my take of it, of a friend who witnesses a girl who's his friend, who's in a relationship, get abused by her boyfriend, husband, whatever you want to call it. And it's pretty much Chad Kroeger in the lyrics he's saying like, you're never going to beat her again. Like he's, I don't want to say he's going to kill the guy, but he's going to make it to where you're never going to do that again. If you actually give the song a listen and actually listen to the lyrics, like it's definitely not a hidden theme in the song. It's very in your face. But definitely a trigger warning for those who have that as a trigger.
Yeah.
Definite.
Shall we move on to the next one, or would you want to continue talking about Nickelback a little bit more?
Oh, Zach's gonna be mad at me about the next one.
Slipknot!
Slipknot!
Right, I can... do you want to start this off so I can lead on to something?
Sure, yeah. I can start us off with Slipknot. Slipknot, really, interesting heavy metal band, mainly because of the masks.
The masks define them, pretty much.
Huh?
The masks are basically the definition of Slipknot. You see a mask, you think Slipknot.
Yeah, so
I didn't even know they wore masks.
Yes. So do you guys know like the story behind their masks?
I have an idea, but go on.
So I don't know like what each one means for each person, or even if they have a meaning. But I know for members so everybody who's joined the band Slipknot, the lead singer Corey Taylor, he tells them like you have to design your own mask. So everybody in the band who has their mask on, that's what they design. That is like their own mask. That's like the only original one that exists. I mean, obviously, like people have made copies and sold copies of it and stuff. Slipknot is definitely one of my top favorite metal bands.
Yeah.
They're definitely.
I just looked up a picture of them. I've never seen them before.
You may have had.
Well, the thing is that. Go ahead, Adam.
You may have had this on Duality. If you listen to it, you'd recognize it. I think. That was...
Maybe. I know Anna's not super into
heavy metal. Yeah.
I feel like I would remember their faces, and I
don't.
It looks like a concert I would cry at.
So the funny thing is, they've been a band for over 20 years. They emerged into the scene in '99. They were a band before that. Anna, just wait. They started out of Des Moines, Iowa. Yes.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Cool. I never knew that.
Yeah.
I know.
They're out of Des Moines, Iowa.
That's cool.
I want to be sure that I'm thinking of the right song. Okay. I was not thinking of the right song. Maybe I was. I don't really remember. I I believe they have a song called Daddy. I believe that's by them. I could be completely.
You're probably wrong. I don't remember there being
wrong.
one.
Oh no! Daddy is Corn. My bad. Daddy is Corn. We're not gonna backtrack.
So Corn's your daddy then.
Yeah, that's what I. You said Daddy is Corn. Daddy is Corn.
So your daddy's part of Corn then, or is Corn?
So you're supposed to say Daddy's by Corn. It's by Corn.
Whatever. I'm not gonna get into the
Corn be Daddy AF.
I'm not gonna get into the meaning behind that song because that's a very, very big trigger, especially for me personally. But yeah, real interesting song. But moving on. So their first big release for Slipknot, self-titled album in 1999. I haven't listened to much of it, but the little bits I've listened to from it are really, really good. The second album they came out with in 2001 is called Iowa. Yeah. That's where the song Disaster Piece is in, the Heretic Anthem. They have a song called Iowa.
Iowa's my favorite.
It's the last track on the album. Adam, do you want to talk about Slipknot a little bit?
You kind of basically said what I want to say, really. Slipknot has been around for 20 plus years. They have been quite the figure of metal. They basically influenced many different bands. Bring Horizon, obviously one of them, especially that early stuff. Who else? Watch Sleeps, obviously, as well. They've been those two bands I just mentioned have been influenced by Slipknot and Slipknot's influence. Many more artists I can probably mention as well. And overall, I don't think the metal industry would be the same without them.
No, definitely not.
Along with the likes of Judas Priest and stuff like that.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to the next band. Nice little pop punk pop rock band. Kind of shifting it over a little bit. Fall Out Boy.
Good band.
Definitely amazing band. Adam, what's your favorite song by Fall Out Boy? I'm gonna hella judge you.
I've not heard this one. I've not listened to this I've not listened for about a year or so. I can't stand the new one. I can't, you know how for you, Anna, right? Is you will not listen to that record. My one I hate is Mania by Fall Out Boy. Mania by Fall Out Boy is probably the worst one on this planet because I'm just gonna clarify something. Some of the songs on there, they're okay. The Last of the Real One's my favourite on there. That's it, and that's the only song I'll probably listen to ever. It's Fall Out Boy. They're very experimental, and obviously with that, it comes a lot of different things.
What's your favorite song by Fall Out Boy? Gonna answer my question.
Oh wait, calm down.
No.
Oh, I can't really name a song. I can give you a favorite album. Say Rock and Roll. Always.
Do you have a favorite song by them, Anna?
Yeah, but I'm scared to tell you.
What is it?
What is it?
The Kids Aren't Alright.
Off of American Beauty / American Psycho. That's a good album. That's a really good album. I will give you that.
That song.
My favorite song is Thanks for the Memories.
That's a throwback.
Yeah.
You basic bitch.
Man, I was like, oh, he's gonna have a super not well known song. It's gonna be his favorite. Oh my god, he's gonna judge me.
No.
Basic.
Proceed to basically build that up as if we're gonna
It's such a good song though.
He's gonna clock me because I'm a fake fan. No,
No.
you're a fake fan.
Motherfucking decides the one that's most recognizable on the entire bloody planet.
Hey, it's still a good song. I knew I was gonna be judged
At
for
least
this.
you didn't say like centuries or something.
No.
True.
No.
Immortals is a good song, I think, as well, off of the Big Hero 6 score as well. I think Big Hero 6 and Bullet Boy worked really, like, together, like, and all that.
Six was such a good movie.
Yeah, like, well,
Facts.
underrated
I
as
don't know. I
fuck.
know some people that cry to that movie, so.
Hey. I almost did. Anna. You don't gotta call me
What do
out
you mean?
like
I'm
that.
talking about myself. I cry.
Oh, I thought you were calling me out there.
It's like you kind of express yourself.
Myself.
Yep, examine yourself.
Shit, I gotta go.
Oh my god.
Is there anything else we want to poke on with Fallout quick?
I mean, I will say this. Pete Wentz, emo haircut, I'm just saying, it's cute. Alright? Pete Wentz's emo haircut is cute as fuck, and I'm not gonna deny it.
Could get it if he wanted to. Unless he sees this, in that case, I'm so sorry.
Anna, this is a Christian podcast.
Oh no! It's not like I'm.
I think we're talking about the wrong kind of movement. This is a Christian podcast.
I didn't know it. I didn't know this was a Christian podcast, and I helped create this bloody thing.
All right.
It's not like I've been swearing for the past 10 hours, is it?
Let's just move on to the next band. Let's
Getting a little bit there, Zach.
So next band. All right, but the next band that we have up on the list is System of a Down. System of a Down, another band. I basic, but
okay.
Still a good song. I really love System of a Down. I've listened to them for a while. I'm not the biggest fan, but still really enjoy their music. Anytime it plays, I pop hard.
I know nothing about them either.
Yeah, they're. I mean, kind of like with Green Day in their songs, they talk like they're very open with their political beliefs, which is, that's good. That's good with them. They do what they're gonna do, and like they do it in a good way. Like they're pushing good things. Like they're bringing awareness to things that need to be, talked about. Definitely, their most well-known song is Chop Suey.
I don't know that is.
Definitely my favorite.
I'm pretty sure if you listen to it, like you'll be like, oh, I've heard this before.
I know it's not pop punk rock. It comes under heavy metal / alternative metal.
Yeah. They're definitely heavy metal, alternative metal. I don't know much of like their older stuff when they first came out. Like their first album, self-titled, came out in 1998. Their second album is really what started their push in getting big. Album Toxicity that came out in 2001. And that album has Chop Suey, the song Toxicity, Aerials. Those are definitely Prison Song. Those are definitely like some of their biggest songs, at least from that album. But definitely a really good band. I would suggest at least giving them a listen. I completely understand if you don't like them. Yeah, because their vocalist, what's his name? He's got a weird name. It's Serge Tankian. Tankian. I'm pretty sure I'm butchering his last name.
Let's just go with that. But yeah, definitely for sure. System of the Down is one of those ones where it's like you love them or you hate them, pretty much, and there's no real in between.
Or you don't know them.
You don't know.
Yeah, and they definitely have a very unique sound.
Absolutely.
Their sound is very unique.
All right. Shall we move on to the last one?
Yep. Move on to the last little
dude.
bit. The last band, a classic.
Blink 182.
Blink 182.
All right.
All the
Small things.
small
Things.
Okay, don't get DMCA'd.
Now I don't care. Alright, okay. So, I'll start this off. So, emerging from the California punk revival scene that Green Day basically kickstarted, Blink 182 formed in the suburbs of San Diego, California, with Tom DeLonge, who was a guitarist and vocalist, Mark Hoppus, as we all know, he's basically been in it from the start, bassist vocalist, and drummer Scott Rayner. After several different albums, and each entitled Fly Swatter, Buddha, Dude Ranch, with multiple successful achievements assigned to each of those albums, Blink-182 released Enema of the State. Now, I don't know about you, but this album fucking rocks, and it still does to this day.
Which one?
And Enema of the State, which has all the small things on it. What's another one?
I could. It's got What's My Age Again?
Yeah, What's My Age Again? What's My Age Again?
They got What's My Age Again, All the Small Thing. They got Adam's song.
Oh.
That is like, can we just talk about that for a second? Now, that's a really good song.
Uh-huh.
It's so good. It's one of my favorites.
It says your name.
It says my name.
It's immediately cooler.
It's also a very relatable song. So.
Blink 182 definitely, like, they put out a lot of good songs.
I Miss You is my favorite.
Where are you?
And I'm so sorry.
Do you remember when Corpse did that? I think it was a
With
there's a clip.
Jacksepticeye.
Yeah. It's like where are
Yeah.
it's like where are you? And then
So Adam, I gotta interject here.
What up?
In chat, Adam and Paul brought up talking about Tenacious D and Jack Black.
we can touch on that.
Yeah, we can touch on that after. I can't let that one slide. But we can go in after a little bit and then go into our final thoughts.
Alright, but yeah, Blink-182, as I was saying, released Enema of the State back in 1999. This introduced Travis Barker into the ranks, replacing Scott Rayner after Scott Rayner left midway through the US tour in 1998. The band after that has had multiple successes and a bit of hiatus. They announced that they were reuniting in 2009 and released Neighborhoods in 2011. After touring for a little bit with My Cam, Rancid, and Against Me. Can't remember that band.
Oh, Against Me. I saw them. They opened for Green Day.
They parted with Interscope and self-produced Dogs Eating Dogs EP. After a few years went by, they created and released their 2016 album, California. California is a really good album as well. I feel like it's definitely up there with Enema of the State. I think it's their second best alongside, obviously, Enema of the State being their first. I don't know about you, Zach, or Anna, but I feel like that's definitely in that case.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. Hoppus then went on to create a side project with Alex Gaskarth of All Time High, the lead singer, called Simple Creatures, and released a pair of EPs. I listened to like one of those EPs. It's not bad. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not gonna say it's good either, but that's just my opinion. Like every opinion of it, please don't show us. But yeah, definitely one of those bands who, alongside Green Day, have been iconic throughout. I don't know, and do you have any thoughts on Blink-182?
I really wish Blink-182 would tour with Green Day.
That's a movie.
That would be a tour.
That would sell out
Oh
with
my
minutes over
goodness.
here.
Yeah, as somebody who grew up in the area that they were up and coming in. Granted, when they started, I wasn't born. but like listening to their music, like they actually they have like little snippets in there, like talking about specific things from California that like I pick up on being from the area, and it's just it's funny. I laugh every time. I'm like, hey, I know that.
I know that.
No, I know what they're talking about. It's really cool to be able to like relate to, you know, songs and bands that are from the area you're in, and they put little like touches in there from the area you're from.
Definitely. I mean,
So go ahead, Adam.
so obviously, once Simple Creatures had done whatever they wanted to, in 2019 they Blink returned with their latest LP, 9, and then obviously the following year, 2020, when, you know, shit hit the fan of the world, they released their latest single called Quarantine, ideally named as well, I'd say.
Oh yeah,
in
perfectly
2020.
named.
So I feel like definitely in terms of like the era, definitely like the noughties and beyond, and like obviously the bands that have influenced that era have definitely like been like very much important to like music now. So
Yeah. So I just want to touch on Tenacious D really fast. Adam and Paul, you guys are still in the chat.
thank you for that as well.
So Tenacious D is a good band. They're phenomenal. I love listening to them. I love the movie.
There's a button for this.
But they've never been that big. Yes, they've done tours and concerts. They're a great band, but they were not that big, which is sad to say. I wish they would have gotten bigger. I love Jack Black. I love Kyle Gass. But they definitely were not going to be on this list.
Oh, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Chili Peppers. Under the Bridge. Good song.
I barely listen to it. I've rarely listened to Red Hot Chili Peppers for me, because like I'm just not. It's weird with noughties music. You either vibe with it or you don't. Same with the MTV like music videos and stuff like that.
Yeah. So that pretty much wraps up all of our talking points. We made it through the list. Is there any final remarks any of you want to add?
You want to go first?
I don't have any. That's why I was asking you.
Hey, Mark. I think in terms of noughties music, if we didn't have that, we wouldn't have the icons that we have today. We really wouldn't.
Definitely not. Yeah, music definitely would not be the same.
Like, we can sit here and talk about like British bands as well. Obviously, as I said, Boomy and While She Sleeps and Architects and all those different bands, but I feel like without you guys in the US and like your culture, like bringing the idea and the sound over to the British soils, I think that none of this would have existed, and like it's definitely something that I think like Green Day and obviously Blink have been pioneers of since the very beginning.
Yeah. All right. So that pretty
Anna?
much wraps up the podcast. Unless you have something to say, Anna.
No.
All right.
Right.
Thank you to Anna for being on the podcast with us today and dealing with our shenanigans and bullshit.
This especially the past 12
Now
hours.
I have to do it every other day, so.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
You don't want to come at us like that, Anna. Come on.
Thank you for having me.
No worries.
Definitely go follow her on Twitch, and on TikTok, and I'm pretty sure you have her Instagram up there.
Yeah, Twitch and stuff.
Go follow her on Instagram. She's a wonderful human. She's a lot of fun.
She's also one of my best friends, so definitely go check her out. You're like, yeah, yes, he's in my web now. He is mine.
You know, she may have an irregular streaming schedule,
But it's
when
awesome.
when she does stream, it's a great time.
Damn, you just had to come at me like that.
What do you
She's
mean?
super-
Come at you like that.
She's super interactive with chat. She has a lot of she's done a lot of good things, and definitely can see her, you know, going up in the ranks and getting big.
Twitch partner,
So-
Fana.
But again, thank you, Anna, for
My ego's so big now.
Oh no.
thank you for being here with us. Again, this is the Milo's Music Podcast.
I've been
Follow us
Adam.
on Twitter. Yeah, that's Adam. I'm Zach. You can
That's
follow us
Anna
on
down
Twitter,
below with a guest.
Instagram.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
we
sorry.
get it. We get it. Yeah, but follow us on Twitter, Instagram. Give us a sub here on YouTube. We normally stream every other Sunday. We just changed our schedules up for the holiday yesterday. But thank you everybody who showed up and hopped in chat, was talking. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.